still learning how to use this 360 camera, and here I'm using it correctly with the selfie stick. It's an invisible selfie stick because of the union of the 360 cameras. But I made some mistakes, and I wanted to show you the mistakes. I thought, wonder what it would be like if I handheld the camera. Well, obviously that doesn't work. And with the editing software that comes with the camera, you can play with it and go to some extreme wide-angle shots. That's a little bit over the top, but those are fun. All right, enough camera talk. Let's talk about trees. In particular, this oak tree that grows between two houses. There's kind of a love-hate sort of a thing going on here. The people love the tree, but they hate the fact that it drops acorns and it's a mess and it drips from the acorn weevil onto their cars. And it's a beautiful tree, but both neighbors on either side insist on this tree being contained, pushed back. So our job here today is lots and lots and lots of tiny cuts. As a matter of fact, I was up in the bucket yesterday all day long, just using my hand pruners. I would say 90% of the job that I did was with my hand pruners, a little bit with loppers, and there was a few handsaw cuts, but I never even started a chainsaw. This tree was quite clean when we started it. I'm showing you this tree a little bit further on in the job. I had to raise the skirt all the way around, and it was interesting. One side wanted it higher and the other side wanted it lower, so I had to kind of create a sort of a balancing of the skirt line. Now this is the neighbor's tree a couple houses down. This is a tree that I'd been maintaining for years, but clearly he didn't like the way we were maintaining it, so he called in someone else and they butchered it. They did the crepe myrtle the same way. I don't know, some people, you just can't convince them that trees are meant to evolve naturally and they want to control them. And including this one. I mean, it's a beautiful tree, but you can see I'm pushing it back all the way around, but keeping it as full and green as I possibly can. All the foliage is out on the very tips, and if I go even a couple feet too far, it leaves great big holes in it. And there's the problem. They park their cars and they want the tree to be far enough back so that when the acorns get the weevils in them, they don't drip on their cars. Like I said, I was up in the bucket all day long yesterday, and I just love getting up high and looking around. Here's the top of the tree that we're working on. This using the 360 camera with the selfie stick, I kind of just set it on the edge of the bucket, and I'm rotating the bucket here and holding it kind of still. It's almost like I've got a cameraman. Now I started out by backing the bucket in close to the edge of the driveway there, and I was able to reach around the backside of this tree and hand saw, hand pruner, lopping shears. That was all I was using for the entirety of this tree, and I kept working my way around. The front of the tree was actually quite difficult because later on in the day, this was, it's not busy early in the morning, but then as the day progressed, the traffic narrowed things down, and it was quite difficult to work over the road. There was also a school down the way, so that made it much more complicated when the parents dropped the kids off and picked them up. So I had to time my day according to traffic patterns. As you can see, this is a beautiful tree. About 3 years ago, we went up here and cleaned out all the dead wood, and it still looks really nice on the inside. So the entirety of this job is just outside tipping back. Lots of little tiny cuts everywhere. Base of the tree, notice all the garbage cans that we had to use to protect lights and different landscape features down here. It was a beautiful tree, and all in all, they're very, very happy with the way it turned out. Both clients are on either side. And, oh, this is kind of fun. I've got a new blower. I've got a very expensive Makita blower, the blue one on the back here. And I'm doing a test of electric blowers. On the left is the still blower, on the right is the Makita blower. And we had leaves on the ground here, so I decided to put them at the same level and crank them up at the same time and see what the difference is. And at first, I thought it was pretty interesting. At first, I thought, okay, it looks like they're both about the same, but the volume in the Makita blower just kept going and going and going. And the smaller blower was good for about 10, 15 feet, but the Makita kept going for up to 20 feet. So there was considerably more air in that larger, more expensive blower.
Well, it doesn't have as much, but it's got.
It's blowing it way over there.
Yeah.
So this is.
Well, that's cool.
It's expensive.
How much?
You don't want to know. Get the two blowers together, and we're going to test them at the same time and see which one is stronger.
Okay.
It's going. You ready? Side by side. We got full blast on both of them. Let's see, that one's not on. There we go. Ready? Electric tools have come so far in the last few years. I have an electric chainsaw, which I love, and now I'm really happy with this Makita blower, but it is far too expensive.